This morning we got episode 5 of Peacemaker, so let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your thoughts on episode 5 of Peacemaker. As this is a spoiler review, feel free to spoil away down below in the comment section. No spoiler warning required. And let's get started. And once again, we get a solid episode from Peacemaker. I would say it's one of the biggest surprises of 2022, but we're only in January, so that's not really saying much. But it really is such a pleasant surprise just how good this show is and how consistent it is from beginning to end. And what I mean by that is that there's not like the subplot or character that slows things down. I enjoy all of these characters and seeing what all of them are up to. So when it cuts to Augie in prison and being interrogated by police officers, I'm intrigued by what's going to happen there. When it follows the detectives that are following up with the information that he gave them, I'm intrigued in how that's going to play out. The personal lives of our team all kind of matter to me, and it doesn't overplay any of them. So you have Amanda Waller's daughter who's married, and the spouse is trying to figure out what exactly is kind of going on. Why is she pushing me away? Am I in danger? Is she in danger? She's acting very strange. But it doesn't overplay that into melodrama. It's a reasonable amount of drama in a situation where she is acting out of character. She is in a situation where she's under stress, doing things that compromise her morality, and is actively pushing her spouse away from all of this. In which case, like, it feels right. It doesn't feel like overcooked melodrama or anything like that. It lets us understand the character more, and because we care about everyone, all of these little details make the whole show enjoyable without kind of a weak spot in the mix. So the big thing about this episode that I think made it a ton of fun is that the team is starting to gel a little bit. And the episode was kind of about that. That at the beginning of it, you have Peacemaker being a bully to the guy that got his dad arrested. And everyone's like, dude, like, you need to stop behaving like this. And having just enough information there to like try and make him realize how people are perceiving him. And realize that each of them have kind of hurt each other's feelings in their own way. And then they bond over glam metal, which is one of the things that's so pivotal to the show. And you have this moment where he realizes, oh, that guy, he likes cool music. Well, maybe I do kind of like that guy. They go on this mission where everything goes wild and crazy. Turns out there's more butterflies than they expected. And there's a gorilla with a butterfly. So things go wild and crazy in this whole thing. And they come out triumphant. And even the guy that Peacemaker wants to be mean to because he got his dad arrested gets to have a moment where he pulls out a chainsaw and slices a gorilla in half, thus creating this bonding moment between the entire team where they're having fun. And this group that kind of were annoyed by each other, resented having to work with each other, thought like, why are we doing this? Why do I have to be on this team? What are we up to? Suddenly have a moment where they come together. And not only do they come together, kind of the most callous of the bunch, at least towards gelling with the others, Harcourt decides she'll even form a text group using the name they came up with. She softens up, even takes a picture, and kind of has this sweet moment where she wants to be a part of the crew, finally. And then you get to the end of it, and you've got like a 1-2 punch of like, ooh, that's brutal, where you have Amanda Waller's daughter who's been sent on this mission to plant this diary in Peacemaker's trailer. And we know Amanda Waller's obviously up to no good. Her daughter seems to know that. And she's actually bonding with Peacemaker. The whole episode is about the team bonding. And then you have this very specific moment where Peacemaker literally says, I have never had this before. A normal friendship with normal connections, normal advice, not just insane people like Vigilante, like a normal interaction. It's a special, important moment for him. And then he goes to the bathroom and she does what her mother says. And as you like this thing that compromises her at her core. Like, the thing that made her different from the rest of the team is that she was a good, sweet, well-intentioned person. And now she's just another compromised agent that does whatever the job requires, and in this case, does whatever her mother says, even though it's betraying someone that literally just said, "You're my first real friend." And then the 1-2 punch of it is then she goes to the office, is playing around with Peacemaker's helmet, only to realize the boss has a butterfly. Something we already knew, but she realizes, and then it cuts off. Like, it cuts off right. It's like, what's about to happen? And what exactly does this mean that the guy that is sending people to slaughter butterflies is one himself? Like, does that mean there's two teams of butterflies? Like, what exactly is going on here? How does Amanda Waller fall into it? I don't know where all this is headed. And while that plot is kind of the least interesting or least entertaining thing about the show for me, the actual plot, because I care about the characters so much, I still care about it. It's not like the weak point. It's not like, oh, I just don't care about this. I do care. I do want to see what's next and have answers to my questions. Just I care about the characters more than the answer to those questions. And so here we are. I think we're 5/8 of the way through the season. So we're in the final stretch, getting close to heading into that third act of the season. And I just think it's really working. And as I kind of said before, I don't think we should be surprised that a TV show entirely written by and mostly directed by James Gunn turned out to be really good. That shouldn't be terribly surprising, but at the same time, it's really good. Like, it's really good and consistent. There's not like the episode where I'd be like, well, that was clearly the weakest episode. This one was clearly the best episode. I don't even know if I'll rank the episodes of the season. And if I did, I don't know how I would do it, because they're all kind of like right on that same level of like, yeah, that worked. You pulled it off. That was entertaining, and you made me care about the characters. And they each kind of have a different thing about them that reveals new things. So, last week we really dug into Peacemaker's history with his dad, his family, what makes him this very broken person that does seem to have a genuine heart while being a crazy guy that kills people mercilessly at the same time. And then you get this episode that's about the team forming. So each one gives you something a little bit different, interesting, that expands on the characters and expands on the plot. So here we are, over halfway through, and they're just nailing it up to this point in time. They absolutely have pulled off this show that I certainly had my doubts about, and I'm sure many of you did too. Be sure to let me know what you thought down below in the comments section, how you feeling about the show, the carnage, the humor, all that fun stuff. I'm eating it up. There's plenty of laughs. There's plenty of ultra-violent carnage, but characters that you actually care about. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.